So I know I'm super late on the trailer releasing for Spider-Man, but I didn't want to come off as negative or anything. But I guess I could say ultimately I am cautiously optimistic. After all, this is still made by the same Marvel Studios that is long past their prime since 2019, really. Like, sure, they had a few good movies here and there with like Guardians 3, for example, but like it's super clear this is franchise is well past its golden years, and it's been almost a decade at this point that this has been going on. This is definitely an off script video, so forgive me if my thoughts are a little unorganized and I might say some of the same things over and over again. But yes, looking at the trailer, it's giving signs that they're listening to fans, because prior to this it did not feel like a Spider-Man movie. It felt more like an Iron Boy Jr. movie, maybe except with the exception of Homecoming. That movie was the only one that like I kind of give a pass to. Like, it makes sense given what happened in Civil War. But after that, I hate Far From Home. Like, that's by far the worst Spider-Man movie I've ever seen. I don't even want to acknowledge it as a movie. Iron Boy Jr. Far From Home. No Way Home, it was, to me, it was only really decent towards the middle half when the plot started picking up with the action and we got Andrew and Toby. But I'm getting off track. I'm very glad that the trailers are giving the impression that they're finally listening to fans. Spider-Man's costume actually looks like a Spider-Man costume. He's finally alone, not in high school, just hanging out with the friends. He looks like he's actually, with great power comes great responsibility. He's living the mantra now. I like what I'm seeing so far with Punisher. It's, oh my goodness, finally, do we have the Hulk back? Who's to say? It doesn't even make sense if how he's back, given that Endgame established that Professor Hulk is unfortunately a thing, and then after that, for the past like 6 years, they've really doubled down on Professor Hulk, or as I like to call him, Puny Green. But yeah, now it seems like the actual Hulk is back, which I don't get exactly what's going to be the explanation for that. We'll have to see what the movie comes out. The thing that makes me not excited for it, though, is because, once again, Hulk is just a guest star in someone else's movie. He'll probably only have like a good 5 to 10 minutes of screen time at most. He's obviously going to have to lose the fight because, one, it's not his own movie, and two, if he was to win a fight with Spider-Man, either Spider-Man would be dead or crippled. He would not be Spider-Man no more. He would just be Peter Parker in a wheelchair or something. So it's very clear the Hulk can't actually win this fight. He's going to have to lose some way, somehow, or at best, they leave it at a draw. But given Marvel's track record, when he fought Iron Man and when he fought Thor, like, it's, if I had to say, it's gonna more than likely somehow Spider-Man's gonna beat him. Which then leads me to wonder what happens to Hulk for the rest of the movie. There is the possibility that he just gets arrested and then the movie kind of just moves on from that. Or there's another possibility that maybe the Hand, because the Hand is in this movie too, but we don't have Daredevil. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. Maybe the Hand gets involved and decides that they want to capture the Hulk when he reverts back to Bruce Banner. I'm just throwing speculation. I'm not entirely sure on this. I have no confirmation. I'm just trying to make sense of why the Hand is even in there as well. Now, going to Punisher, there's not a lot to say on it. I like so far what I've seen. He seems like he's going to be the real supporting character, unlike the Hulk. The Hulk is probably going to be more like a one fight, 5 to 10 minutes at most. He's going to lose, and then he's going to probably be written out of the movie for the rest of its runtime. But Punisher actually feels like he's going to be a real supporting character that's going to be around for at least a good third of the movie, maybe even a good half of it, or maybe even all of it. I don't know. But in the trailer, it looks like he's immune to whatever is going on with the psychic attack. And this brings me to, now, I've heard rumors. I don't know if it's confirmation. I've been trying my best to avoid spoilers as much as possible for this movie and like just avoid any news really on it. But I could not avoid that there supposedly people are saying that the villain who's doing all these psychic attacks and like mind swapping into people's bodies is Jean Grey, which one, I hope that's not the case in terms of like they make her into an actual villain, because they're already doing that with Scarlet Witch. And Jean Grey, like, it's not even Dark Phoenix Jean Grey. Why is she doing these evil deeds? So if it is Jean Grey, I hope that there's like something else going on, like there's a mastermind behind her who's maybe forcing her or manipulating her. Whatever the case, I just hope that it's not actually Jean Grey being a villain because they wrote her to be an actual villain. I would much rather, if it is going to be Jean Grey, that it is just some form of her being manipulated or mind controlled in some way, somehow, and Spider-Man's going to have to like free her from that. But I'm sidetracking from my point. We see Punisher is immune to whatever is going on here, and I'm wondering if maybe if it is Jean Grey or whoever it is who has these mind manipulating abilities, and they somehow increase their power to a citywide scale, because up until this point it seems clear that they can only swap from one person at a time. Now it seems like it's citywide, so maybe they got some kind of power amplifier or whatever the case. Maybe at this point in the story they already came into contact with Punisher, and now they have some sort of bond or affection. Maybe it could even be one-sided, because Punisher himself looks like he's not like he has literally no idea what's going on, so he seems lost. So maybe whoever's doing this is like, it's a one-sided affection in terms of like they don't want to hurt Punisher. In fact, maybe they want him to save them or stop them from doing what they're doing. We see that in the trailer. It says Spider-Man is immune to it, and I'm assuming the reason why is because it's a spider sense being enhanced by whatever is going on with inside his body. He clearly he's making natural webbing now, so maybe his spider sense got enhanced and that like prevents him from the mind control. You also see that MJ and Ned are there, and from the way the trailer is making it out to be, it's kind of in that stereotypical Marvel formula that you would expect Peter would get back with MJ and like get back with Ned as his best friend. And I do hope that is not the case. I don't think it is. I'm hoping that the trailer is just being a misdirection on that, but I really do hope Peter does not get back with them, because that would be such a disservice to the way the last movie ended. Like, I understand that why they're in this movie to begin with, because it's not easy for a person to just immediately move on from their loved ones after losing them. Like, I get that. So this movie, including them, even if it's just a little bit, makes sense to a degree, because we need to now get that conclusion of Peter emotionally moving on with his life and leaving behind high school and everything associated with it. The movie just needs to make sure now that it doesn't actually commit to like Peter getting them back in his life. Like, I would like to move on from this romance with this version of MJ and move on from his friendship with Ned, because it's not like it was unwelcome or anything in the previous movies, but the way No Way Home ended, it seems clear that it's time to move on. I would like now to get more to our standard of what traditional Spider-Man actually is, not just this MCU version of it. So ultimately, I will say I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't mean that in any way to be rude to the actor or anything of that sort. I just don't like the way his character is written throughout the movies. But anyway, I've ranted long enough, and I do genuinely hope this movie is going to prove me wrong in some things, like with the Hulk, or if it doesn't, it'll at least do him justice that I will be okay with him losing the fight yet again.